Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. This is a chat with Jay, opinions and views, the Robin Hood effect, kangaroos, koalas, and Steve Irwin impersonations. A couple of things we're talking about today. We're talking about the issues in Parliament, the flag, Jacinta Price. Number two, infiltration. What does that mean to you? And we'll look at the August 31st rally and the infiltration there. Something you might not think happened on that day. And number three, personally, OCD, anxiety, control, people pleasing. Was it my detriment or was it a massive lesson to where I am right now and understanding exactly how I tick and the lessons I needed to be a better person? I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Robin Hood effect. Thanks so much. Let's get to it. We saw what happened in the Parliament this week. You saw National Flag Day and you saw Jacinta Price draped herself in the Australian flag. And then the Greens, well, they came out and said it was a prop and we're going to put the Palestinian flag on.
That event coincided with a disruptive, disgraceful and divisive rally across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, a rally where some protesters chanted genocidal slogans, displayed Hamas symbols and Nazi swastikas, waved flags of terrorist organisations and carried a photograph.
Senator Price, could you please resume your seat? Senator McKim on a point of order.
Yes, thank you, President. I asked for a ruling, please, on whether the senator who's wrapped in the national flag at the moment is contravening the standing order that prevents props. And I do want to make the point that if it's okay for Senator Nampijinpa Price to wrap herself in this flag, I would intend to wrap myself in a Palestinian flag and come into the chamber and exercise the same rights that Senator Nampijinpa Price is currently exercising.
Senator Nampijinpa Price, in order not to set a precedent at this point, could I ask you please to finish your speech without the flag on your shoulders?
Look, they have the right, don't they? But what does it say about the person? What were they trying to prove? Seriously, they do have the right. People can crack it all they want, but you have a look at what Jacinta Price did, and it was a symbol of what's going on at the moment. This is our country. This is our flag. Go for it. If you want to fly another flag, that's fine. But have a look at stoic values in this way. The right to do things. That's fine. He had the right to say this, but did they have the right to ban her from wearing the Australian flag? I mean, is that freedom of speech? He had the right. He wanted to go and put a Palestinian flag on. That's great, mate. Go for it. But what country are you in? That's all I'll ask. But at the same time, go for it if you want to do it. I mean, if you want to keep your values up like that, I mean, everyone saw it. But taking the rights away from someone to do that, like Jacinta Price said, wanted to wear the Australian flag, National Flag Day, it's our flag. I don't get it. Well, I do, actually. But it's a case of, I believe, I see it for what it is. And I see that it was a statement of some sort. So people can do one thing, other people can do the other thing, depending on what they're talking about. Now, we know about the Australian flag being a topic of discussion. You should be able to raise it because we live in it. Simple as that. No race, no people being discriminated against, nothing like that. You live in the country, raise the flag, be proud, that's it. If you want to raise your flag too, I see a lot of people with the Australian flag and their national flag they came from, the country that they migrated from, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. Built on the multicultural society, they always say, yeah, absolutely. Respect to the flag that we got, respect to the flag that you come with. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But is it delivered the other way where why should we allow people to burn the flags? I mean, is that disrespect? If it's like going to someone's house and, burning something of theirs, isn't the flag at the moment, and I know I'm going to get people saying, oh, what about the Aboriginal flag, the First Nations and the Torres Strait? That's fine. I wouldn't do it to any of the flags. What we need to do is have a level head and see who's making these decisions, and have a level head and say, right, yes, there are First Nations people, Torres Strait Islanders, whatever it may be, and come together and make a justified decision. But where is the problem? If they can ban a prop, a national flag, imagine doing that in America. Just shows the standard. Let's just say, hey, and I still say, do what you want if you want to go and wear a flag, but don't take the right away of people who want to do what they need to do too. What, you're offended by someone wearing a flag, but you want to wear another flag that could offend others. I mean, at the end of the day, it's for respect. And we don't have any respect, or to have little respect. And obviously what's happening in Parliament, our leaders, who's making these decisions, ladies and gentlemen, have a good think about it. You have to sort of take that message and say, rightio, who's making the decisions? Jacinta Price, well done. I will say that. For that video, well done. Stood up for the Australian people, just like Pauline Hanson. And that's every single Australian. No discriminatory remarks here. Everyone on this continent, this land, is an Australian citizen, or living under our culture, or living on our land, living by our culture, living by our laws of the land, and they are to be protected as one. We come together as one. And the leaders have to remember that. Are they leading, or are they leading with a purpose to better themselves and not us? Have a look. See if Australia's on the stock exchange or not. There you go. What do you think? Do you think she was right in wearing it? Do you think the Green senator, which I say showed their true colours, because they couldn't check themselves at the door and say, look, that's fine. If I want to wear a flag, that's fine, but they couldn't check their egos at the door, in my opinion. Okay, and that is all about leadership. These are the people that are leading our country. Just saying, have a look at that, make your opinion, and we'll see what comes of it. Can Jacinta Price be the next Prime Minister of Australia just for standing up for the flag? Have a think about that. So we talk about OCD, anxiety, control, universal law, being stoic. There's a lot of things that I have been trying to learn a lot. And I think a lot of the OCD and control issues because I don't trust. Do I trust myself? Do I trust others? No, I don't, because I don't think, and I have been proven many, many times, that people don't do it like me. Now, is that control? Yes. Do I want a particular way? Yes. Do I say, step back, let me do it, and I take control? If I stuff up, I stuff up. That is fine. Is it an OCD? It probably is. Now, it could be a lot of things. Anxiety could come from it. And that's what's probably happened to me too, because I wanted to fix everything. But the other thing is missing out. Okay? There's a lot of things in play here. Missing out, people pleasing, looking after others instead of yourself. And it's becoming like not really an illness, but it's a state of mind. It's a protection state of mind, an old program that you're not controlling yourself to do what you need to do for you and keeping yourself calm. This could be part of you. This could be your journey. This could be who you are. But you also have to look at your shadow. We always say shadow, all those words we talk about, but you have to look at what's happening, or what's happened, and what's happening now, and what's happened before. So you have to have a look at what's happened before and what you've brought. So you have to look. So you have to look at what's happened before. You talk about being a child, all those called traumas, or whatever you want to do, how you're brought up without boundaries, or however you perceived yourself to be. And then when you realize it, you can look at it and say, was that the cause of how I am now, or is it just you? It's a big thing. But the main thing is, what I say to people is look at for peace of mind, freedom and peace of mind. Okay? If you're looking at freedom Freedom is what's going to happen in your mind and who you are and who the person that you want to be every single day that you step up. You'll feel that when you go through the times, and you'll feel that every single day of where you're at. I always say to people this: once you know yourself and have awareness and you know what freedom is all about, stay on your path. There's nothing wrong with actually analyzing and seeing what you can do to become better. What is causing you stress? Is it a behavior, learned behavior? Is it something you're not doing? And this is where I talk about the motivation to become better and have that freedom. So anxiety, OCD, people pleasing could be all under one thing. There's your banner. They could be all affecting you, and also could be a reaction because you don't want to get hurt. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I do lose control in some ways. I get panicking. I go, whoa, hang on a minute. I'm in the unknown. I'm putting my trust in someone else. And if you haven't had that deep trust or haven't been able to have around people that you can trust, it's a big thing to do. I encourage you to do it. I have done it slightly. I don't mind helping people, but at the end of the day, it's a case of understanding, is that giving you peace of mind or does it not? Is there a decision in your life that you have to let go of? Is it giving you anxiety? Are you trying to control the destiny and not let it flow through? And you have to work out why. If you let it go, there's no opinion. You just let it go, and anything that comes up, you have to do it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We're very connected and very strong on what we want to do in life. And if we lose something, we just don't want to, really. And it could be the ego or whatever it may be, whether it be socially, yourself, or whatever it may be. Maybe it's a learned behavior. But at the end of the day, let things go, learn control in a way where you can let go. And if someone needs to do something, you let them do it. If it does affect you, maybe you have to step up. But at the end of the day, make sure you have peace of mind within your heart and in your mind, of course. Freedom is the goal. Peace of mind is the state you want to be in.
I want to do a big shout out to our friends and supporters at Liberty Bullion. Sammy and the team are the best gold, silver and platinum traders in Australia. Make good choices, give them a call. Back to the show.
So we talked about the 31st rally. Now I want to talk about infiltration. Now, people who are thinking, they're going, right, if you went to that rally, you are part of the Nazi clan or whatever it may be, or you were in the fights, or you weren't standing up for the rights of humans and all this kind of stuff, mass immigration, all those kind of things. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people there who were there because they knew that the government is the main problem. And that's the narrative we've got to go with. All those words, those catchwords, the media that they're showing all the fights. Oh, there we go. There's the fights between. I tell you right now, I saw it. One group coming from one way, one group coming from one way. We'll call it the people with the flags coming one way. It was meant to happen. And suddenly, oh yeah, the channels are there, and Channel 7 and all, they were there reporting on it. But they didn't report what happened at Flinders Street, which was nice and calm. So these are the things we have to look at, ladies and gentlemen. The truth. Did the media do the right thing? Well, they just reported it. They weren't reporting the wrong thing. But did they report the whole story, and did they manipulate what they needed to manipulate? So people say, oh, look at this. You can't go there. You can't do this. You can't do that. Have a really good think about that. And even when the so-called white supremacist group got up and chatted, most people left. They were leaving. Okay? So there's a lot of other stories. As I said, with a journey, you don't know whose journey could affect you, or you don't know what's happening within them. There was people in there really going with the message about the over-compliance, the over-taxation, the way the government is treating us. Okay, that was the message. Overtaxed. Ridiculous amount of money. What's the point? But they got that out, and they wanted to find people on a united front against the common issue, which is basically government compliance. You can use the key term mass migration. Yeah, great. Migration might cause divide. But who are making the decisions to do this? And that is the big thing. Everyone goes, oh, yeah, everyone who went there was part of that white supremacist group. It was organized by Nazis, all this stuff. Yeah, great. But you have a look at what happens in the past. To get information, you got to infiltrate, don't you? You got to have good people in there to find out what's happening. Okay, so, they could say, yeah, it was run by the Nazi clan and all that, but there was people in there doing their job to get people together against the common issue, which is over government compliance and getting numbers behind that. There's a lot of people hurting out there. A lot of people who just want to live a peaceful life, and that's all races, all creeds. Everybody wants to live as one, peacefully, and be governed and live a great life. But this is what happens when you watch social media as well on one part. The other part is all the good stuff that they say and see. So social media is fantastic in that way. But you can scroll and watch, whereas mainstream media, they report what they want to report. Okay, we all know that. And then there's other people who want to say what they want to say. And look, they speak their truth, but you've got to look and critically think about what happened and critically think about everything and not make judgments on everyone that was there. I can tell you right now, it's very important you think about it. Gathering information. You can have a look what happened. Melbourne, fair enough. I saw what happened in Queensland. I saw what happened in South Australia. I heard what happened in Western Australia. Very peaceful. I know those white supremacists were told to in South Australia. I saw the video. And obviously in Queensland. Not sure what happened in Sydney. Just saw a couple of senators up there. And obviously Canberra, we had Malcolm Roberts and Pauline Hanson out there. But at the end of the day, everyone wants us to live a peaceful life in a country that can give them safety, give them a new life, give them a great, happy life. But we have to look at the problem. It's the governance. Companies not paying tax. Middle class paying too much tax. The amount of, even look at superannuation. Look at all the companies that are going bust. Guardian, I think one was called. First Right and Guardian, they went bust. People lost all their money putting trust in these things. You have to have, here's a theory for you. They're all great ideas. Superannuation, save for the future. But when you put muddy hands in and think laterally and think one common problem that people do it for financial gain or ego gain, if you get that out of there, you're halfway there. And that's what I keep telling you about the Robin Hood effect. Robin Hood was there for the people, for the battlers against, all the kings and queens that put pressure upon them. You watch that show and don't tell me that's happening right now. And there's always infiltration. And Robin Hood did that as well. So have a think about it. Take your goggles off. Okay. I had them on as well. Goggles up one side, I'm looking straight ahead. Time for you to look wide and time to look at yourself. Are you happy and what aren't you happy about and who's causing it? Think about that and tell your friends. This has been Jay for the Robin Hood Effect. Please like, subscribe and share. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below or send an email, whitewarriorhealth@gmail.com. Follow me on socials, Words of the Warrior on TikTok and Juniper Whitefeather, Facebook, Instagram. Just hashtag and you'll find me. But all I want to say is thank you very much for the time to listen. And as my hero, Bret Hart, WWF champion, WWF Hall of Famer, he always says, get up in the morning and be the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. We'll see you next time on the Robin Hood Effect. Opinions and views, a chat with Jay.
Have you got a story to share? The experiences that you went through those dark times need to be told, need to be heard. the teachings, the lessons. I know when I had a stroke scare that it changed my life. My name's Jay from Journey of a Whitefeather, and I run a show on Spotify and all good platforms called A Chat with Jay. I talk to normal everyday people who have had experiences that need to share their teachings with the world. I speak to celebrities who are there, who can give you advice how to become a better person. Bruce Buffer, the Kings of Disco, Blackie Lawless from Wasp, so many people, but I love talking to the normal everyday person that gets up every morning to be their best self. If you want to be a guest, whitewarriorhealth@gmail.com. Check out our socials, #JayStephenson, #Journey of a Whitefeather. Take care and always be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.